Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. A very good morning and a very good day to everyone. So today our group, we are from Group 6. We present to all of you about Al-Farabi. Before that, I would like to introduce our group members. My name is Nur Nadira binti Harun.
My name is Nurul Ain Farhana binti Muhammad Nasir.
My name is Nolana Ada binti Kebir.
My name is Nurin Izzati binti Abdul Wahid.
My name is Nurul Ima binti Khairuddin.
So let's proceed to our presentation. Okay, we are from Group C. Our topic today, Abu Naus Muhammad Ibnu Muhammad Al-Farabi, or be known as Al-Farabi. So there is our list of members with number of messages. So this is the linear outcome for today's presentation. Okay, first of all, astronomy is the Holy Quran. Our group had choose a word from Al-Quran is An-Najmu. Okay, so the definition of An-Najmu. As we all know, astronomy had a very lot of branch of studies that include the space, the physical universe, the sun, the moon, and anything. So our group had chosen the word An-Najmu. One of the studies of astronomy that they mention is Al-Quran is An-Najmu. An-Najmu is an Arabic word. This gives the meaning of star. It has been mentioned 13 times in the Al-Quran in the form of An-Najmu or in the plural form of Nujum. It comes from root meaning to appear, to come into sight. The word designates a visible heavenly body without saying of what kind, which is either generator of light or mere reflector of light received. Okay, so the explanation of An-Najmu under the picture of star, it is scientifically, star means a very large ball of burning gas in space that is usually seen from the Earth as a point of light in the sky at night. There are millions or more of stars that exist in this universe. There are stars that are bigger in size than sun, but the location and distance between stars and Earth are further than distance between sun and Earth. So the size of sun bigger than stars. In our Quran, Allah already stated that He created the stars to make the heaven look attractive and beautiful at night, because stars can transmit its own light instead of having the reflection from the sun like the moon. So I will pass our presentation to Nur Ain Farhana.
Okay, next, let's move to the next point, which is specific verses with translations that related to the An-Najmu in the Al-Quran. Okay, as Nadira stated before, that in Al-Quran, there's word An-Najmi has been repeated for 13 times in the Al-Quran. So some of them are first surah from Surah Al-An'am, verse 97. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وهو الذي جعل لكم النجوم لتهتدوا بها في ظلمات البحر والبحر قد فصلنا الآيات لقوم يعلمون. With the mean of and it is he who placed for you the stars that you may be guided by them through the darknesses of the land and sea. We have detailed the signs for a people who knows. The next from Surah An-Nahl, verse 16. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وعلامات وبالنجم هم يهتدون, and landmarks, and by the stars they are also be guided. Next from Surah As-Sur, from verse 49. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَسَبِّحْهُ وَإِدْبَارَ النُّجُومِ. And in a part of the night exalt him and after the setting of the stars. And the last one from Surah An-Najmi, verse 1, وَالنَّجْمِ إِذَا هَوَى, by the star when it descends. So from these verses, this ayah, some of the ulama had interpreted it with their own understanding. So from the Surah Al-An'am, verse 97, ulama Salaf said that whoever that's sure about all the stars have its own functions other than 3 points above, then it had done faults and made sins toward Allah. It is because Allah created stars as decoration of the sky, as a tool to throw Satan, and also a guidance of way from humans in darkness of land and sea. So from this ayah, it stated that stars, the function of the stars itself for decoration of the sky, as a tool to throw Satan, and also a guidance for humans. Next, from Surah An-Najmi, verse 1, Ash-Sha'bi, scholars from Ibn Abi Haytham, stated that the Creator, Allah, swear in the name of its own creation that He wanted to while its creation cannot be sworn except the name of Allah only. Ibn Abi Najih told Mujahid that Ibn Abbas, Sufyan Aswari, and Ibn Jarir stated that what is meant by An-Najm is 7 stars that disappear or descend in the meantime of sunrise. And the last from Ad-Dahak said, which is when throwing the Satan with ease. So from here, said that 7 stars disappear or descend in the meantime. And it's also used to throw Satan. So that's all. Let's proceed. I'll give back to Nadira.
Okay, so the general discussion about An-Najmu, as already stated in the slide of interpretation, star has its own function. It has been created by Allah as the creation of sky to secure Satan, guidance of way from humans in darkness of land and sea, and also 7 stars that disappear or descend in the meantime of sunrise of Fajr. So the words of An-Najmu that's been mentioned by Allah in the Quran had made many scholars in scientists to discover more about stars in the study of astronomy. So I will pass our presentation to Noriana.
Okay, in the footsteps of Abu Nas Muhammad ibn Muhammad Al-Farabi. Next. Okay, let's go to the life of Ibn Farabi, Abu Al-Farabi. Okay, his full name is Muhammad ibn Tarhan ibn Al-Zalah Al-Farabi. He was born in Farab, Turkmenistan in the year of 817 Common Era and died in Damascus, Syria in the year 950 Common Era. In his life, he was a gardener, a qadi, and a teacher. Okay, this is the flow of Farabi travel in search of knowledge. Firstly, Farabi began his study life by learning logic with a Nestorian Christian, Yohanna ibn Hayyan, in Mark and Baghdad. He then traveled to Baghdad to pursue his higher study. During his way to Baghdad, he stopped in few places to learn, such as Tehran. And upon arrival to Baghdad, he learned Arabic, which will open the opportunity for him to learn more about Arabic philosophy. And then in Baghdad also, he met with his teacher, Abu Bris Mata, where he learns the logic. Abu Bris Mata is the second teacher after Yohanna in philosophy. In Baghdad, as Baghdad is the center of knowledge, he also learned various areas of science and language during his stay. And then he traveled to Constantinople with his teacher during the late reign of Abbasid Caliph al-Muqtafi. And between the year of 910 in 920, he returned to Baghdad to start with his research and teaching. He also documented that he have traveled to Haran and Aleppo, but he always returned to Baghdad. So basically, Baghdad is where most of his work take place. And then, in the year of 943, he left Baghdad to do some political unrest and went to Damascus, which he then went to Egypt shortly after. But he then returned to Damascus to join with court of Hamdani Princess ad-Dawla, where he learned music. And he died in Damascus in the year of 950. Okay, so okay. Al-Farabi life are not well documented. So basically, his teacher and students are not well discussed. But these are some of the students and teachers that we are able to get. Okay, some of the students is Yahya ibn Adi, Al-Sijistani, and Al-Amiri, and Al-Tawhidi. These students are major in philosophy. Okay, next, please. As many of other scholars, Farabi also pursued various fields of knowledge. He did learn about logic, mathematics, astronomy, cosmology, music, philosophy, psychology, and education. But to Farabi, he separate the field of language, the field of knowledge, to physics and metaphysics. Okay, and during his life, he wrote numerous amount of books and documentaries, but only 117 books are still survived this day. And these are the books that are most popular. Okay, first is Enumeration of Science, Ihsa al-Ulum. He discussed 5 different sciences, which are language, logic, mathematics, physics, and metaphysics. And the second one is the ideal of citizen in virtuous city, Al-Banina Al-Fadila. He asserted that human beings, like any natural species, have a perfect state toward which their action tend, and this perfect state can only be realized in association with other human beings. And the third book is the Great Book of Music. He said that music derives some of its principles from mathematics, but he also insists on the importance of performance for determining its empirical principle. Okay, now we move to his criticism. Farabi is the most important thinker of medieval era, and during his time, he wrote many critiques and documented in the series of his commentaries. And 2 of his most popular criticisms are on Aristotle's logic and Plato's vision of other society. Firstly, on Aristotle, he wrote a long documentaries on Aristotle's logic, and he established logic within Islamic culture, which put him as the second teacher after Aristotle. And secondly, on Plato, Farabi commented on Plato about the concept of ideal society. Under his topic, Farabi did touch every part of detail. However, today I will only discuss on one example, which is on how the ruler of the ideal society. Okay, Plato states that a genuine good government can only be achieved if the king is the philosopher or a philosopher is the king. While Farabi said that based on a genuine an ideal society or virtuous city can only be achieved based on the Islamic philosophy and if they pursue their happiness. Okay, now let's move to the understanding Al-Quran and As-Sunnah in the words of scholars. Farabi is the first scholar to be denoted as Islamic philosopher because of his ability to understand the concept of philosophy through religion. He believed that philosophy is superior than religion, but religion is crucial to understand the true knowledge. That's why most of his studies are created in the light of Islam. Okay. His works are written in such a way that they are most pleasant to the other Islamic philosopher after him. Thus it will be said that Al-Farabi does refer to Al-Quran and Sunnah to further understand the true knowledge during his research and writing. For example, in his book, The Ideal Citizen in Virtual City, or Al-Madinah Al-Fadilah, he deeply discussed on the theory virtual city in light of the Quran and Sunnah. Okay.
Alright, so now let us move on to Al-Farabi on astronomy. Alright, on explaining about astronomy and astrology, Al-Farabi differentiated what is the difference between astronomy and astrology, because one of it is not obey the law of science. So in his book Ihsa, he describes astronomy and astrology both in the same study, which is Ilmu an-Nujum, which is the study of star. However, he differentiated both of these by giving different name to it. For astronomy, it known as Ilmu an-Nujum at-Ta'limi in his book Ihsa and Burhan, or Ilmu al-Hay'ah in his other minor treatises. For astrology, in his book Ihsa, it is known as Ilmu Ahkam al-Nujum. Or in other words, we can understand astronomy as mathematical astronomy and astrology as judicial astrology. So what is astronomy and what is astrology? Astronomy only investigates the exterior aspects of the heavenly bodies, those that pertain to the numbers and measurements, such as sizes, distances, and motions of the planets. This is all related to the mathematics, which is one of the important part in science. So it is different from astrology, where astrology only focuses on the heavenly indications and signs that enable humans to predict future events and to know past and present events. So let us see what is astrology in depth. Astrology, according to Al-Farabi, Al-Farabi only considered some aspect of astrology as a part of philosophy, where in some part of astrology, it studied about the physical influence of the heavenly bodies on sublunary beings, which means how the heavenly bodies or the stars, the planets can affect the sublunary beings. Sublunary means anything or beings on the earth. And it also agrees that the celestial bodies have an impact on the humors composing the human body, and in that sense that they may influence people's behavior to a certain extent, which means all events that are happening in the sky can influence how people behavior on the earth. For example, the celestial bodies cause heat, or in Arabic, it is called suhuna or hararah, to develop in the sublunary world as a result of the light they emit, or in today's world we know as sun. But Al-Farabi rejects umur ittifaqiyah or accidental events, as this part of astrology does not base on any scientific evidence. For example, the claim that an eclipse or vision of something red in the heavens is supposed to announce the death of a king or an important dignitary. This claim does not base on any scientific evidence, thus cannot be considered as a part of philosophy. For astronomy, Al-Farabi perceives it as a mathematical science together with other studies such as arithmetic, geometry, music, optics, statics, and mechanics. All these studies requires mathematics in its study. In his book Ihsa, astronomy is divided into three parts. First, astronomy deals with the exterior aspects of the heavenly bodies, such as shapes, position, size, and distance. Second, it deals with the motion, either the general motions, such as orbits, or the particular motions of the planets. Third part It focuses on the Earth and related to geographical, climatological, and demographical questions. So, by dividing astronomy into three parts, we can also classify astronomy into parts, which are Hayatus Sama, which is astronomy of the sky, consists of the first and the second part, and Hayatul Arodu, the astronomy of the earth, which consists of the third part. Al-Farabi also stated that astronomy focuses only on bodies, although it is limited to studying the exterior aspects and properties of the celestial bodies. Al-Farabi, in his study of astronomy, does not involve the study of the inner substance, such as what are the planets made of or what are the beings on the planets, because he believes that is the task of physics. And we can also see that astronomy, according to Al-Farabi, is deeply influenced by the Greek philosopher. As we can see, several Greek philosophers also classified astronomy as he classified it. For example, to name some, Plato, Aristotle, Ptolemy, and Simplicius.
Okay, next, what is the contribution of Al-Farabi towards astronomy field? It is for the architecture of the heaven, celestial bodies, that is orbs, spheres, planets, and stars. So what is the definition of the celestial bodies? Celestial bodies is any natural body outside of the Earth's atmosphere. As example, orbs, planets, stars. So Al-Farabi uses same Arabic expression, that is ajsam samawiyah, to refer to all those entities. Thus, it is not a clear interpretation. Farabi used ajsam samawiyah in his book Ara that indicate either orbs alone, which invisible to human, or orbs with planets or stars alone. So basically, Al-Farabi described ajsam samawiyah to orbs or to the planets or to the orbs with planet. So the implication is Farabi said about the orbs contain number of bodies, fixed stars that have common motion. The orbs and the stars all use the same term, that is jisim. So it is hard to distinguish both of them. So it is hard to distinguish either Al-Farabi talks about the planets or Farabi talks about the orbs or Al-Farabi talks about the spheres. So Farabi began later on, Farabi began to use different names for different things and be specific to the terms. As example, Kaukab will refer to the planet. Fixed stars include sun and moon. For the Falaks and Kurah will refer to the orbs. At first, Farabi uses Falaks and Kurah as orb, uses it interchangeably. But later, an author that worked in Hayah tradition assign fixed meaning as Falak as the orb and Kurah as spheres. Farabi uses terms that influenced by both natural philosopher and Arabic astronomers. As Nurin said before, that Arabic works are influenced by philosophies and also astronomy. Next, Al-Farabi states that celestial body is in the highest rank in a group of 6 genera or class. So if we see the slide, it is state that the first ranking is celestial body, second is rational animals. Rational animals is classified as human. The third, non-rational animals, plants, minerals, and 4 elements, that is water, air, fire, and wind. As Nurin said before, the astronomy are divided into two, Hayatul Sama and Hayatul Ard. So the celestial body is the Hayatul Sama that in the highest rank. Why it is in the highest rank? Because of two reasons. First, it is not exposed to corruption. That is because humans tend to corrupt the things that are in the earth, so that celestial body are not include the things in the earth, so it is not exposed to corruption. So for the second reason, it have different species but can exist on only one each species. Such example, we have only one sun, one earth, and one moon. So Al-Farabi and Ptolemy on planetary models. This discuss about how Al-Farabi arranged all those planets that he all those planets in arrangement. So the first Al-Farabi state that the Earth are lying at the center of the universe and celestial orbs lying in concentric layers around it. It is influenced by Aristotle and Greek astronomical texts. So if you see the picture, there is the Earth at the center of the universe. For in our era, we know that Sun is the center of the universe. But then for the Farabi explained that the Earth is the center of the universe. So according to him, the galaxy is divided into 9 groups. In Arabic, it's called Jumal. However, the arrangement of it are done by Ptolemy. Al-Farabi just stated that what is the Jumal, what is the group, but the arrangement is done by Ptolemy. So according the farthest outermost orb, also called as the first heaven, As-Sama'il Ula, and the first body, Al-Jisim Al-Awwal, is the starless and planetless orb. It rotates from east to west. If we look at the picture, it is stated that the sphere of the prime mover, that is the orbs that is planetless. There is no planet there. So the second, next, the orbs of the fixed star, Kurat al-Kawakib al-Thabitah. This is where the orbs that contain the stars, fixed stars. And next, the last orb is the orbs of the 7 planets arranged in descending order according to Al-Farabi, that is Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Venus, Mercury and the Moon. Moon is the nearest orb to the Earth. Below the Moon's orb lies the element of Earth such as air, water and fire. So below the Moon we have the Earth and the things on Earth. Okay, next. We explain about the orbs. Before this, we explained about the planets. So now we explain about the orbs. For Al-Farabi, each orb is a spherical body, even though it is invisible to the eye. As orb and planet is part of celestial body, it must have shapes, ashkal, volume, azam, size or measure, maqadir. Most of the Aristotelian philosophers, Al-Farabi indicate that the orbs and the planet do not possess any characteristics of things in Earth or sublunary bodies, such as coldness, dryness, heat and moisture, and it has its own special characteristic, that is luminosity, spherical shape and circular motion. But Al-Farabi did not mention about the tactile qualities. What is the tactile qualities? As the example is, does the orb exist in solid or liquid? Tactile qualities is the matter of the orbs itself. So in his written work on astrology, Al-Farabi also mentioned 2 different views about the luminosity of the celestial body from the ancient book is called Al-Qudama. The firstly, he states that the sun alone emits lights. The second opinion is all the fixed stars are luminous and the planets reflect light from the sun. But he did not take side on both opinions. He only stated the opinion, but he does not agree to both opinions. In his other written work, that is Ara, Al-Farabi explained some part of the celestial orb produce light, and the orb that is transparent also both emits light and receive light. So in his other work, Al-Farabi claimed that some part of the celestial orb will produce light, and some of it that is transparent also emits and receive lights also. So the argument that rise, the light are not perceptible to human viewpoint. So human cannot see the light that being reflected or emits by the orbs. Thus, there is no evidence for the explanation, and term Al-Kawakib is unclear whether it's referring to sun or the planet. Because at that time, Al-Kawakib is used to both sun and planet. So despite that, the conclusion that what Al-Farabi want to tell us is celestial body do emit light. So then the last one is subordinate orbs. So we have in science, we have orbs that circle the sun, and we also have the orbs that circle the planets, such as the moon will circle the earth. So in Ara, in his written book, also in Farabi written book, Ara, Al-Farabi explained that the third orb that contains planet have its own subordinate orbs, adisam, that is eccentric and epicycle, is rounded, eccentric and epicycle. What you say is each of the spheres and the corporeal circles, dawair mujassama, in them has an independent motion of its own. It means that the subordinate orbs will rotate the planets on its own circle. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.